Happy New Year's Eve, ladies.
Happy New Year's Eve. Yeah, let's do the jazz
Jazz
hands.
hands.
All right, you guys, we are back here for one final live as a team as we kick off New Year's Eve. Nothing planned, just off the cuff. Wanted to pop in and say hello to everybody and wish you all the best Happy New Year's. So, with that, ladies, what has been your biggest reflection this year?
Oh, so many.
Just one. You got to pick one to start. Just one.
I say Dorothy goes first while I think about it.
All right, because I know mine. It's funny.
Great.
And it just came to me this morning. My biggest reflection was by me stepping back, I've allowed my family to be forward and be who they are and to find out their strengths this year. It's been amazing to watch. And in the same sense, it's kind of let go of the pressure of me always having to be the one to do everything. And I just let go and let back. And it's been kind of amazing. So that's been my reflection. And it took all year to figure that out because I figured it out this morning.
I love it.
Agreed. Love it.
What about you, Jen?
What about me?
Yeah.
I'm on the hot spot.
You're on the hot spot.
My biggest reflection, again, there have been several. And to pick one, my biggest reflection, yeah, it has been the true, similar to yours, Dorothy, but more internal reflecting of just the allowance piece. You know, it was a big year of just leaving corporate America and stepping away and doing everything full time. And it comes with newness and it comes with nerviness at times, and just the allowance of allowing all emotions and letting things pass, and in a way that I probably to a depth that I never have before, has actually brought a lot of growth, which has been really cool.
I love that. I have a question. So what does it feel like now that you're just working fully for yourself?
What does it feel like since
Yeah.
that I'm my own employee? Free. I feel free. I honor my schedule. I honor my dedicated, I practice what I preach. Like I have my dedicated 2 hour self-care time every day religiously. It's on my calendar. And in that 2 hours, I get my workout time, I get my meditation time, I get my self-care time. And I think that if we could align more people to be able to have that in life, without that spot of time, I notice shifts in myself. And I think that we don't have enough of those moments to just have our own schedule. So yeah, that freeness, Dorothy, freeness to plan how I want to plan. I probably work more than I ever have before, and I've always worked a lot of hours. It's just who I am anyway.
Right.
But I think as an entrepreneur, you end up putting more in, because I have a tendency to not shut off, which is okay.
Right. Oh, but that's good though. It's doing stuff that you love, because I know you're not going to do something that you don't love. So everything is all with a purpose and a plan.
Yeah, and it doesn't feel like work to me. Like I would do what I do for free if I could. So I say that loosely, of course.
Same here.
I love that.
Yeah.
Love that.
All right, Christy, you're up.
All right, you gave me plenty of time to think about something, and I'm still thinking about it. Really, my biggest reflection comes in the thoughts of things we've talked about before on our shows, Jen, and just in other areas with both of you guys. And that's that space of awareness of who we are and what we want, and the concept of just being really, really present with where we're at. In fact, actually, this week alone looked very different than what I was expecting this week to look like. And it's offered some very good lessons in it, just as far as my level of shifting when expectations aren't met, and my level of being present and really, and just really giving of myself in different situations. It's been quite nice.
How can you use that moving into the new year, Christy? Like, how will it shift you?
It's for me, it's in the act of taking a step back and making it a priority to be and more mindful all the time.
Mm.
And I know we've had these conversations before off the air, but even just on here, when I'm with patients and in my office, I am that person naturally. And one of my goals, actually, I didn't write that down when we talked about that earlier. I want to bring that into my home life and other areas to keep that balance.
I love
I
it.
love that.
Mm-hmm.
Love that.
Yeah,
It's
and in
funny.
this moment with you guys, I'm sitting here like, oh yeah, I can totally get that. And in another week and a half, I'll go.
Maybe not.
I love that. Prior to this week being off, I was tired of always having to look at my watch. Like never. Joe and I, could just be having a conversation. I'm like, well, wait, come on, you have to hurry up because I have to be at work and leave for work in the next 5 minutes or something like that. And for me, it was like a big, huge aha moment right before Christmas break, where like, okay, my family is my number one, but where am I showing that? And
Mm.
the whole thing of we only have this much time because one of us has to be at work or one of us has to do something. And I'm like, I don't want my life to be 100% on the clock all the time, moving to the next thing. So for me, one of my intentions for 2022 is definitely to carve out that space that we need and to just be more, to allow things more instead of always having to have a schedule for everything. That's funny because that just came to me.
You know what's interesting, and both of you have heard this, but sharing with the audience, in the allowance conversation, a big one for me this year is going to be letting go. What do I have to let go of this year?
Mm-hmm.
And that's going to come more to come on this one, but letting go, that can be letting go of weight, letting go of emotions, letting go of other things that don't serve. But I think we can get so wrapped up in holding on to everything. This for me is my year of letting go of anything additional that's still there for me that just doesn't serve me, and making it, honoring it in a good way. When we think of let go, it's almost, it can cause grief, right? Because it can cause that loss piece. But I want it honored in a way that just, it feels good to just let go of anything that just causes you anything of other than goodness.
I love that you said that because I've been finding myself for the last 2 weeks, every time I get anxious about something or that I don't want to let go of a situation or that I know I need to, I clench my fists and then I let go like this. I've been doing that more for the last couple of weeks. I'm just like, what is this? So I've been intentionally, I find if I put an action behind my thought, then it helps me more to process and to get through those moments. So that's hilarious that we're all coming to the same thing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that letting go piece is amazing. I think it ties right into the allowing piece too, because at least for myself, as you guys likely know, I've historically been a bit more of a, how do I put this nicely, a control freak, and I've stopped using the word for the first half of the year, and I've been molding how that looks moving into the present and now the future. And in recovering from that, it's all in the allowing and letting go of stuff that's not in our control, that will never be in our control and has no business in being our control in the first place. Just
Wow, that is deep. That is so deep. No, okay. So I feel like I'm hogging this conversation, but something happened. Usually, my husband is paid every Thursday, and usually I'm paid every Friday. This week, it was like I went, and I'm the one that does all the finances, so I, have to figure everything out and stuff like that. Well, I actually got paid Wednesday this week, which was a surprise. And my husband didn't get in until today. And I'm like, what is this? And yesterday I was like, did you realize you weren't getting paid this week? And he goes, what are you talking about? And I'm like, well, this is what happens. And he goes, I always get paid. They'll just be tomorrow. And I'm like, yeah, but sometimes some of the banks are closed today. So instead of freaking out like I normally would, I'm like, well, whatever happens, happens. The money's there anyway, so it doesn't really matter. But I was just like, the old me would have been so uptight about it. I'm like, all right, I'm just letting it go. I just, whatever happens, happens. And I've learned, with the accident and everything right before Christmas and everything, I'm just like, okay, it's going to work out. I don't know how or when, but it's going to work out. And there've been moments of freaking out, but there's also been a lot more moments of just letting it go and letting God handle it. Yeah.
Okay, so we reflection on this year, and I think we could all just keep going with a whole. I don't know about you guys, but I had so many reflections this year and so many big moments that came about this year. And as we look forward, as we walk past the past and we move into this new 2022. Okay, really fun story, total tangent, but I had reflection yesterday with someone when the 2000 boom hit and what we did New Year's Eve 2000. You remember that?
Uh-huh.
We all thought like the world was going to crash and
Y2K.
And it's crazy to me to think now it's 22 years later. Whew.
Oh, did you really have to?
That makes you old, Jen.
I am not. I'm not. I'm just getting started on this
just teasing you.
second half of my journey. And it was a big reflection when I thought, shit, that was 22 years ago. Anyway, yeah. Okay, so as we look at 2022, what is the biggest, as you look at your reflections, what's the biggest thing you say, wow, this is going to really guide me into the new year? In knowing this and having this and seeing this, whatever that is for you. What's the biggest reflection forward? I guess will be the question.
First thing that came to me is what I'm just going to say, even though I could ponder it more, is do everything with love.
I love that.
So no matter what we're doing, do it with, it's that same piece of what I already said, I guess, is do it with the mindfulness and presence and that space of intention and love. And then no matter what you're doing, you're coming from your heart, and it's almost, there's no choice but to have beauty in it.
I love that.
Yeah, agreed. Dorothy?
I would say definitely leading with fun and friendship. I mean, I met you amazing ladies this year. Kind of like I said this morning on Inger's show, it's kind of like the sisterhood that I never had. So I expect more of that. And it's funny because my husband even talked about, oh yeah, when we go to Chicago in the summer, I couldn't believe that. I said, well, I was planning on every month. And he's just like, you can fly every month, but we'll drive in the summer. So I was just like stunned. So definitely more of that, and fun along the way, because I don't know, when I hit 40, it's just like life is going to be more fun, because the first 40 years were not that fun, but now it's even more fun, and with friendship added, it's going to be even more beautiful.
I love that.
Agreed.
Jen?
So I'm going to have to say, for me, it's a continuation, and it's a continuation of what this whole journey has brought me. And it's continuing to honor me, continuing to honor the things that feel most right for me, and the things that I want most for my life, honoring myself to say no or to say yes more, and honoring every part of when I'm fatigued and when I just have a long day, disconnecting and being okay with laying around and watching a movie for 2 hours. It's in those types of things that I think that can really allow us to propel forward when we just honor us. And if there's one thing that I've learned bigger than anything else on this journey, my journey in the last 9 years, it's honoring me before anybody else. Everyone else is equally important, but it's still honoring me first.
I love that.
Absolutely.
Honestly, when you said expectations for this week, I was just like, I expected in my head to work around the clock for myself, and that's not what I did. I actually honored the fact that, wait a minute, I got a week off work, and my husband's was home half the day, so we actually had lunch out, ladies. That is like a novelty, not once but twice. And I was just like, wow, that never happened. So for me, all the big things I wanted to get done, I allowed myself to have that me time. And without the guilt. Before I would have been felt guilty. This weekend it's been no guilt. I'm like looking at the year that I personally have had, and things like that. I mean, not that it was a bad year, it was just very challenging and a lot of change for me. It's just like, okay, I'm gonna honor, like you said, where I'm at right now, honor the fact that I'm tired. I slept in pretty much every day, which is unheard of, and allowed myself the healing time that I needed. So yes, more of that in the coming year too.
Mhm. Okay, so
Uh-oh.
I think somebody brought up would you rather. And as we look into the new year, why not some fun would you rathers as we bring in some lightheartedness to this conversation over the next few minutes? I got no ideas on would you rathers. So either one of you have thoughts first.
I mean, if we don't have thoughts, I'm sure I could bring one of my boys upstairs and they'll come up with some maybe inappropriate.
But new year would you rather. So new year would you
Right.
rather.
Mm.
Would you rather go live every day or write a blog post every day?
Ooh.
Go live.
Yeah, I actually have to say go live, just from the sheer amount of time that it would take. I'm explaining it again. Dorothy's going to yell at me for explaining my answers.
Totally are explaining it.
I'm totally the video person, and we know that out of the three of us, and two of us are, well, all three of us are writers, so in our own way.
I just know if I were to have to write a blog every day, it would take me more than 5 minutes. I could do a 5-minute live every day.
What about you, Jen?
Oh, if I had to do one or the other, I mean, strictly from a timing perspective, video would be easiest to do every day. My preferred every day would be to do a blog every day. But blogs, the way that I like to write them, are more time intensive.
Okay, so would you rather be stranded on a deserted island with a book,
Oh,
a book,
jeez.
a book, a book, a drink, and the food that you'd like, or would you be swinging through the Amazon with Tarzan and Jane? I don't know. I just made it up.
Stranded on a deserted island by yourself?
By yourself with the book, the food, and the drink that you want, or would you rather be swinging through the Amazon with Tarzan and Jane?
Ooh. I think Christy's frozen. Oh, that depends on the day, Dorothy. It depends on if I'm in an adventurous mood or in a calm mood. But I'm in more adventure than calm, so I would probably be flying through the trees more often than sitting on the beach alone. But I value both, very much value both.
Dr. Christie?
Am I?
Oh, I think you're still frozen, Christy. How about you, Dorothy?
Give me the adventure.
Yeah.
I do like my downtime, though. I'm learning to appreciate my downtime. Don't get me wrong, but I'm all about the adventure.
I love adventure and I appreciate my downtime.
Totally.
I can go all day long, but then I need to have a couple hours to regroup.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm like you. I start my morning, my first hour by myself, I do a little bit of a workout, my meditation and stuff like that, and then I get into my day. I need that. I need that time. When I don't do it, I notice a big difference.
Oh yeah.
Like, I didn't do it over Christmas, the first 2 days of Christmas, and I'm telling you.
Oh no.
Uh-oh, we lost Christy.
She's coming back. Okay, what's another one?
All right. Would you rather be in the movies?
Hang on. Christy, what was your answer to the last one? Oh, she's
Probably
frozen
swinging
again.
with Tarzan and Jane.
Um,
Can you
got
hear
it
me?
quickly. You're in and out.
No, I'll take that as no. I said swinging in the trees, but if you can't hear me, I'll just sit here and hopefully pose nicely if I freeze again.
We got it now. We heard you.
Woohoo!
Yay. So we all chose
The adventure.
the adventure. Swinging in the
adventures.
trees. Yay. All right, Dorothy.
Okay, so on the perfect girls' weekend away, would you rather be wined and dined, or would you rather go on a nature trail?
Be wined and dined on a girls' weekend.
Yeah.
I
Or
vote both.
or go hiking all the time.
Well, we hike in the morning and then we wine and dine at night. That's how it looks.
Well,
like
I've never had a girls' weekend away. I just can't wait for the first one.
The answer is both.
I the way you think.
The answer is
Oh,
both.
we lost her again.
She'll come back.
And this is the beauty of
You've
live.
never
though,
had a
folks.
girls' weekend, Dorothy?
I've never had a girls' weekend away.
So,
And
okay.
I've only left my husband for one night since I've known him in the 4.5 years we've been together to take my parents overnight 3 hours away for a medical appointment. So I've never been away.
So we're going to change that this year.
Oh, that is one of my goals.
On more than one occasion, we're going to change that this year.
Yes.
Okay.
And hopefully COVID stops so that I can make that possible.
Yeah, let's not go to that conversation. All right. Would you rather? We have 4 minutes.
All right. Would you rather cook a meal yourself or have somebody cook it for you?
Oh, hands down, I'd rather cook.
What sorts of things do you like to cook?
I'll cook anything. I prefer baking. I love baking. Yeah. But I don't bake often because baking usually involves a lot of calories and a lot of eating.
Yes,
So
unless
I'm baking for someone else, I'm not going to bake all that much.
I'm with you. I would actually, you know what? I love to cook, but I actually like other people's cooking too. Well, okay. So the proper people's cooking, meaning people that are like, I've married a germaphobe, so now I'm more aware of what people do when they're cooking.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll stick to my own cooking now that I said that.
I love it.
Awesome. All right. So is Dr. Kirsty in the green room?
No, she's not.
We
We
lost
may have
her.
lost her.
Uh-oh.
If we have another one, I'm going to message her. We can do one more.
Sure.
And
One
then gotta
more.
wrap it up.
Okay. So would we rather be impactful and speak to a room of 100 people, or would you rather reach more people and talk in front of 1 million people?
You have said a really important word there. On the first one, you said impact.
Yes. I think you would have impact on 1 million people too. But would you rather speak in front of a small group or a larger group? And have the same impact.
Same impact.
Same impact.
I'm not sold that can you have the same type of impact? I mean, hands down. Okay, let me think this. I'd like to do either. And if I had to pick one over the other, I would rather do small group because I can be more intimate with them. I can get them to do things more quickly.
Right.
And call on people more easily.
Hmm.
But my preferred would be both.
Mm-hmm.
But smaller would be if I had to choose one.
Right. I like your thinking, but because I like to go big or go home, I think if I can impact a million people versus a smaller group. But then with the smaller group, you, like you said, can be more intimate and make more connections better.
Well,
So
to me, that is bigger.
yeah.
That's my bigger.
Yes. More intimate connections versus
Yeah.
making an impact but not making the relationship.
Mhm.
I like that. Yes.
Yeah.
I might have to change that, because it's all, to me, it's all about connections too, and
Yeah, if I have people in the room, I want to make sure that I know who they are, I know what they stand for, and I know how I can serve them. And I'm bringing them valuable content
right,
to bring to whatever they're going to need.
right.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it. Love
Cool.
it.
All right, Dorothy.
All right.
We have to wrap things up. Everyone, we're wishing you a very happy, safe New Year's Eve. And as always, be kind to yourself. Keep just honoring you, allowing good things in your life, and always reach out to us anytime you need us. Dorothy, what else you got?
Exactly. I just want to wish everybody a happy New Year. I was going to say Merry Christmas, but then I'm like, wait a
I
minute,
love it.
a happy New Year, and I just wish everybody happy health and um happiness, health, and just abundance in the new year. And definitely take time for you. And because I think that's my biggest takeaway this year. Allowing things to happen and allowing those moments that you need. Allowing what your body needs and allowing what you need, mind, body, soul, and spirit. I guess is
Yeah.
the way to connect it all through. So
Agreed.
just honor you.
100%. 100%. All right, guys. Have a very happy New Year, and we will see you next time. Bye.